I want to do a little bit of an investigation on the way we put expectations on people. I mean, a bunch of parrots just flew by. They're all green and red. It's worth appreciating. Yeah, so we expect people to be compassionate and understanding and generous and forgiving, that is, giving before they receive. And I don't know if we're actually setting people up for success or if our moral and emotional climate is actually filled with enough capital to facilitate that. I use the term capital when I talk about emotions because usually the stuff is thought of as sort of esoteric and spiritual. It's hard for people to understand. But since a third of our lived experience, if not more, is physical, emotional exchange, we talk about emotional labor, can be expressed in economic terms. The question that I have is it reasonable to ask people to be good and generous in a climate that kind of feels like it's devoid of vestiges where people can refill on the stuff that allows them to be generous? Think of emotional wealth, right, as love. And the currency that we're exchanging in our humanity is this expression and sharing of love. Are we in a climate where love is actually abundant, or are we sort of in this sort of scarcity period of love? The question I ask myself is, where do I get these things? Where do I get what I need? Where am I feeling loved? And how do I know that I'm being loved by my environment, by my community? And sometimes it sounds really simple and sometimes it's really complex, but I want to think about it. A lot of it happens on social media with complete strangers who are affirming the messages that I send, and family members who tell me that they remember me growing up and they're proud of who I've become, and immediate relationships where people are spending time with me and exchanging. My emotional needs are also met through my work when I'm being paid a rate that I think is worthy of my contribution to society, and it affirms my value as a contributor and producer. And there's something deep to that too. Work is another place. Another area that I fill up on love is through play. And that can be artful play, that can be sexual play, that can be exploring and learning new things. But the point is, I have this opportunity to love myself and explore who I am and really get to know me. When I think about these things, these places that I go and things that I do to fill up on love that allow me to be the generous, compassionate person I'm expected to be in society, I also have to look at the world and see, like, where is that available? And are there obstacles to this for other people that might make it harder for them to be generous? It's one thing if I've been given every opportunity to succeed and feel loved and I'm just not reinvesting that in myself and my society. It's another thing entirely if I'm in an environment that's devoid of this love, wealth, resource, and I'm expected to just alchemize goodness from trash. Think of it like air. If love is in the air, then I'm taking these deep, full breaths and I'm pushing out carbon dioxide for plants. But if the air is thin, it doesn't matter how deep I breathe, I'm not actually bringing in what I need to give back. Where do you go to build heartfelt relationships, to participate in fulfilling work, to enjoy and experience play? What are the places in society where you actually fulfill these basic human needs and restore yourself of love? Family, church, community groups are places where you can find these relationships and build connection, but like work and like being of service and reifying your value to society, and then also play and learning about yourself. And what are the barriers to these things in society? And of course, I have to ask myself, what are the personal obstacles that are keeping me from moving towards these places? Am I afraid that I won't belong or fit in? Am I uncomfortable with career change? Do I not allow myself to play because it makes me feel silly? And how can I overcome those? Sometimes it's as simple as shifting my perspective and getting out of my own way. And other times it's working with others to rebuild this love infrastructure and restore emotional capital into an environment that sometimes feels like it's barren.